Series 5, for us, there was a lot more effects in it. There was still the Creature of the Week, but we had a lot more swarming, buildings blowing up, giant anomalies.
Ep 9 was the underwater episode. All those shots were fully CG, so it was CG water, CG Lipleurodon, CG mini-sub and full-size submarine. The only thing that wasn't CG was the people inside the mini-sub. You could see the two characters live action, and there's a couple of nice shots as the sub drops down out of the submarine and turns. We pan around it, and it completely sells the idea of them actually being in a sub.
Ep 11, they build a small anomaly in the arc, and through it comes loads of little beetles, and they all swarm about, getting the air ducts and stuff. The technical challenge for us was to come up with a way of making thousands and thousands of these beetles pour through, and then with the Queen coming through as well at the same time to interact with her, and also interact with whatever's going on in the plate.
Every time it came back, the client would want a few more, and we hit a limit of about 3,000, and then someone in R&D found a better way of multiplying these things, so we got up to about 9,000 or 10,000. It looked quite creepy before we'd finished rendering them, when they were just sort of simple grey-scale tests. Just seeing that number moving about, some people could hardly watch the monitors. We were quite pleased when we were getting to that level.
The last two episodes, the season finale, Scylla really wanted to push us to get the most cinematic feel and look.
With the T-Rex and the Lipleurodon, because they were actual creatures that existed, physically they had to be right, so you wanted them to measure up to the skeletons that you find in the museums.
The biggest problem with the T-Rex was the scale.
Well, you get to see him quite close up. Obviously it's easy to make things big in CG, but when he falls down in front of the camera and all you can see is his open mouth and his face, we have to account for all that scale. So he's got to look good very close up as well as from far away.
There's a lot of theories that a T-Rex actually couldn't fall over because of the size of its arms. It couldn't actually pick itself up. So for us, that was a challenge in animation. It was like, right, let's see if we can pick itself up realistically. So what we did was we used the size of its head to bash itself on the floor and use its neck muscles to give itself the leverage that its arms would have done, so it can get its back feet underneath itself to lift itself up.
We built a 3D replica of the power station. I think it comprises of about 3 or 4 separate buildings, and so we just blew each building up with an awful lot of smoke and debris.
We had about 10 elements, and they all had to work together.
A lot of dependency where the smoke needs to have the debris in front of it in order to be able to mat it out properly. So there was a huge amount of this is dependent on that, which is dependent on that. We pretty much had all our guns blazing for that one. We would come up with techniques and then show them and see what they thought, really. So there was a lot of that kind of creativity coming from the bottom up rather than the top down, which again is what makes working on the Primeval so much fun.